Very happy all of you could join us. And if you're in the Hangout, the way to ask your questions is to unmute your mic. And if you're watching in YouTube, you can just post your question in the chat. I might not be able to read out all the chat, but I'll catch the questions if they're there. Namaste, namaste. See, your heart already knows the truth. Your heart already knows the truth. In fact, it doesn't need to know anything at all. No knowledge is required for the heart. It is all about this mind. This mind causes all the trouble. So if these thoughts were allowed to just go on by, then nothing is needed. You're not discovering anything new. You actually have always known who you are. It's just that we chose to give our attention and our belief to this voice of separation. So that's the only ailment, if there is an ailment, that's the only ailment that we are dealing with. The Guru is not here to teach you something new. It is just here to tell you that you have been following this wrong teacher, this fake interpreter, and we must just let go of this one, and then all is completely clear. The Sadguru has the easiest job possible. The easiest job possible because in the glimmer of the openness, it is already done. In the glimmer of this openness, when there's a slight even inkling that following this mind is not working, in the slightest inkling that following this mind is not working, it is already done. Because already the distance between you and the mind has been created. And yet it is pure grace which creates this opening, this inkling. That's why we cannot force anyone to follow this path. We cannot force anyone to come to satsang also. And if it happens that we do, because we have some leverage with them, with our loved ones or someone like that, you see that they come and it's complete torture. It's a complete pain for them. You see? And they will feel that these ones who are in some bliss must be brainwashed or something. Because there is nothing blissful sounding to the mind here, you see. So don't try to force anyone, especially not your loved ones, to come. Don't force them. If you feel an urge, I say just knock gently and see if they open. Knock gently. Don't try to break the door down. You see. Life is taking care of all beings. No being will escape the truth of what they are. That's the certainty of truth, you see. That's the certainty of truth. The false cannot survive. That's why they say that the truth will prevail or shall prevail. They also say that the truth will set you free. So what do we need to do? Nothing at all. It's not a doing or a not doing also. Do nothing does not mean that we just decide to not do anything. It's not a decision to not do anything. It is to let go of this concept of doingness and be completely neutral and let life carry you. It will seem like you have been carrying this heavy weight and you just put it down. And then you will find that life has been carrying you all along and you've just been pretending to carry this heavy load. This is the meaning of surrender. Surrender does not mean that a new force will carry you. It has always been the same force. Surrender only means that we stop pretending to carry our life. We stop pretending to be in charge. And if you keep coming to satsang, then all pretense will get dropped. Automatically, some will find that just in a few satsang, there is so much more clarity, there's so much more peace. The heavy burden of life seems to just dissolve. For some, it seems like this, and sometimes for some, it can come as an eruption. You see, the ego can erupt strongly sometimes, it seems. And it's very welcome like this also. What can we say without picking up a concept? Can we become the doer without even picking up a concept? We cannot even pretend to be a doer without believing a thought. We just watch all the doing happening on its own. And just like you are now watching these words come from here, you will watch these words come from your own mouth. And you will wonder where they are coming from. Because these words are already coming from your heart, you see. It's from your own intuition, from your own Sadguru, that these words are arising. No trying is needed. Don't try to do anything. Don't try to be open also. Just if you're here in satsang, it's enough. Namaste, namaste everyone. Nick is having major issues with the internet. A real test for him. He sends love. Yes. There was some natural disaster there, isn't it, first? And then the internet went away and he's not been able to join since then. You're always in our heart, my dear, always with all of us. And we hope to be able to hear your beautiful voice very soon. Atma says, let go of this concept of doing. Let go all concepts. Love you, Father. Love you too, dear one. So, what will you do now? Do you have a New Year resolution? No need for anything. No need for any decisions. No need for anything at all. The truth is that the person has no power. It's as simple as this. The person has no power because it does not exist. And all resolutions must come from person. Claire wants to ask a question. Yes, please come, my dear.
Can you hear me?
Yes, a little bit.
Okay. I just wanted to ask a question about. I'm sorry, I'm having a car a lot. It's a question about the difference between following your heart and or staying in neutrality. And it's something that comes up quite well a lot in terms of my relationship with my partner and decisions about especially about socializing. And I've been staying in neutrality, but I don't know if I'm avoiding following my heart by doing that, because like, for example, last night I was just in the kitchen, and I just felt so much love. And my partner Barry is someone who he needs to make a lot of decisions ahead of time, and because it's Christmas and New Year, and he wants to be socialising people. Can you hear me? And so I never really know what to say or what to choose. And so Barry had arranged to go out with some friends who live across the road, and we went across the road. And it was, I didn't enjoy it. And then we came back, and I just felt like it's a decision. It's time to make decisions from the heart and not be in neutrality. And I think I've been very scared to do that in regards to my relationship. I just wanted to say that.
Actually, be completely neutral means to follow the heart, actually. Maybe there's an interpretation which is somewhat sounding like, when you say stay in neutrality, there seems to be a sort of a decision to not do anything or not to go along with the flow of life. You have to see what following the heart and being neutral means. It actually means the same thing. Being neutral means that we do not resist life, and we completely following what our intuition is telling us moment to moment. Now, what you said is that you're with a partner who's used to deciding things in advance. Okay? So in this moment, there could be this partner standing in front of you who's asking for a decision right now about the future.
Yeah.
So then what will happen is that something will come up from the heart for you to say in response to it. See? And how do we distinguish whether something is coming from the heart or the mind? When it is coming as a thought, then it is a needy energy. When it has a grasping energy, it has an attack energy or a defense energy. And when it's coming from the heart, you find that it is love, it is peaceful, it is not asking for any confrontation, it is not attacking or defending. Suppose you're in this strong situation where a partner is agitated, is asking for a decision about something to be done on New Year's Eve or maybe next New Year's Eve. You never know how much people can plan. See? So, in that moment, just trust what your heart is saying and trust what words come with no expectation of the outcome. No expectation of the outcome. This is being neutral. This is having no preconditions and trusting the heart. It's the same. Being neutral is not to choose. Being neutral does not mean that we become static. It does not mean that we become passive. See, being neutral only means that we are not judging what is coming from the heart and we are trusting this source. Trusting this source. And you'll be so surprised sometimes something that you would never imagine would come up from your mouth. And you would say, hey, let's go partying tonight, you see. And you say, hey, where did that come from? Yeah. So it's not based on any ideas you have about yourself. You don't even have this idea now that I don't like socializing so much and Barry likes or he likes socializing so much. You have no conception about yourself. See, every moment is fresh. There is no person. There are no concepts. You don't know whether you like socializing or not socializing. And then when a question comes, so honey, what do you want to do tonight? You just wait and say, okay, let's go out somewhere. You see? Or something is coming up. I don't feel to go out. You have to be true to it. You have to be true to it. So even if you feel that it will not be taken well, just trust what is coming up and let life take care of everything else. This is trusting the voice of intuition. And this is completely being in neutrality. Neutrality means we don't pick up a concept about ourselves. And we don't pick up a concept about another also. Pure beingness, unassociated beingness, does not have any attributes in the worldly realm. You see, does not have attributes like social or antisocial, talkative or silent, introvert or extrovert. Does not have. Pure being doesn't have any of these attributes. He picked up these attributes along the way as a person. So just trust in the moment. Even if there's a decision required about the future, trust in the moment what decision is coming up. In this way, life becomes very simple. And there will be times, like many times, there will be some who will ask me for some decisions, and I will have to be honest and say that no decision is actually arising, you see. And if our partners and our loved ones cannot give us that space, then that is satsang for them. That is satsang for them. You see? In this, there is trust that whatever is happening is good for the entire world, not just for me and my loved ones. If we trust this voice, then although it might seem like it creates some strong moments, which is also rare actually, usually it leads to very peace very quickly. But sometimes it can seem to lead to some strong moments also. But even those you will find have been such strong satsang and such strong openness. My master also says that being free does not mean you become like sheep. It does not mean you become timid. It does not mean you have to mollycoddle the rest of the world. So just trust what is arising for you in the moment. See that this is the voice of your Sadguru in your heart. And just express what is coming up moment to moment. It will all be just fine. So you see there is no dichotomy between being neutral and following the heart. This is clear?
Yes, thank you.
This is very good you bring this up because when we say neutrality, some can take this to mean a state of passiveness or a state of no activity. It's not talking about activity at all. It is a neutrality towards activity or inactivity. It has no preference between the two. You see, that itself is neutrality.
And also, can I just want to expose this, whenever this situation arises, there's a voice in my head that then says, if you were really truthful, you would just pack all of this in, you would pack it all in, leave everything, move away, go and live with religion, you know, that kind of thing, like, and anyway, it's kind of, I can't make sense of it. I don't know if it's a real voice or not, and
Yes. In fact, the instant you said voice in the head means it can be let go. Whatever it might say after that. Because it will try to convince you that there is some meaning in this. But it is not. It is not meaningful at all what it is saying. Yeah? Life is creating a relationship with life. It is not your relationship. It is life's relationship. And life will decide when it stays and when it goes. The mind will convince you that it's a personal relationship and you need to take a personal decision.
yeah.
It's not possible. All is moving automatically in this flow of consciousness. The mind comes later and takes credit or it takes blame. You're just watching life. You're just watching this play. Don't believe that voice which is trying to convince you that you have some volition in this realm. You have no volition in this realm, not as a person. I might have used that word for the first time in Satsang actually. Volition, I have not heard that from this mouth at least before. You see what that means? Volition means choice or decision making. This mind is always convincing you, you must decide, take a call. Rush, 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 hurry, hurry. This is the voice which we can just let go. We can just not give it any belief at all. It does not deserve your attention at all.
Thank you.
Very welcome, my dear. Nice to see you in the hangout after a while, isn't it? The voice of the heart is never dominating you. See? It's never in a rush. It does not have the need to convince you of anything. It's just patiently sharing the message of love, is waiting for you to listen, always available, completely patient. So if you're feeling that there is a sense of strong authoritative, sometimes there are beings who come and they wonder, they get confused because the mind comes strongly and it tries to sound like the guru. The voice of the mind comes too strong, very strongly, and tries to sound like the voice of the guru, and will say, "You must do this, and you will become free," or some strong like that. It can be very easily, safely ignored. If it is not accompanied by love and peace, then it is not the voice of the Guru. Okay. Rashmi said, always to be at your feet. So sweet, my dear. Thank you. Quantumness says 2015 will be all about letting go. That's okay. Dinan says, I forgot there was such a thing as a resolution. First time I've forgotten about that. What a relief. Yes, you see, we take on so much. The year starts and we take on so much additional pressure onto ourselves. I must eat right, I must work out, I must do this, I must not do this, I must be good at my work, I must keep all my appointments, all that. At the start of the year, so much stress and burden we pick up, you see, these resolutions. Just resolve to taste the moment. Resolve to taste the moment. If you must make a resolution, even this resolution is not required, but if you must make a resolution, then just resolve to taste the moment. This beautiful presence, the light of your own being. So much peace, so much beauty, so much joy is here already. See? And Cornelia said, neutrality means no preferences. Thank you, Father. Very welcome. Good. Amaya says, may I ask a question? Yes, please come, my dear.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Oh, good. Happy New Year, everyone. Father, may I just surrender from the very beginning the fact that I'm going to ask questions about concepts? There are a couple of things which I notice how consciousness does it on its own, you know? So what I'm noticing is consciousness is interested in two things right now. I know I can't speak words without feeling like I'm using the mind, so please just surrender from the beginning while I ask. Okay. The first one is, it's going into present moment experience real deeply. So every sensation felt, every thought watched, every emotion inquired into. That feels, in a way, very personal, but it also kind of takes me beyond the personal. Do you know what I mean? Because it's super present. Okay, so that's the one thing it's wanting to do. The other thing, or it's doing a lot, the other thing I'm doing a lot is consciousness is I'm getting this experience that the screen, that I'm the screen in which everything appears. So that includes, such as a movie, myself and all of you are here, and it's all showing up as light on the screen, and the screen doesn't have any borders. So that one feels very different and very dissociated in a way from the personal one that goes directly into the thought, directly into the sensation. And I just wondered if it doesn't feel like I'm in concepts practicing these. It just feels like what the natural interest is of somehow deepening in awareness or the realization of awareness. I just wondered if you had anything to say about the one feeling like dissociation and the one feeling like very present in the body, kind of oriented experiencing.
So let's look at the second one first. You see that it seems like I am a screen. There's a screen in which all this play is happening. You said all of you and the world, and also these feelings, emotions, thoughts, everything seems to be playing on this screen, isn't it? Is that what you say?
Yes, but I'm in there too. I'm one of the characters.
I see, I see.
See what I mean? Yeah.
Like I'm in as one of the characters. I see. But then are you the screen or the character?
At that moment, I'm the screen. At that moment, I'm the screen watching the character. So it feels kind of dissociated, you know.
And the screen, is there a witnessing of the screen feeling also? Yeah. Because you are aware of this sense of screen, isn't it? The screen is
Yes.
not aware of you. You are aware
No.
that it's a screen. Huh?
Yes, I feel like the screen itself is witnessing, but I'm aware of that witnessing happening. Does that make sense? I'm aware of what's being witnessed as a screen. It's very hard to describe this screen because it's infinite, you know, and it doesn't have any boundaries. It's just more like suddenly everything's showing up inside of space of light in which myself and everything else is included. Such as watching a movie, and I probably have taken this as a concept, you know.
So let's look at this together. It's very
Okay.
difficult to hold on to the concept of being a screen and being the witnessing of all of this which is playing out in the screen at the same time. So it will require some effort to come to that sort of a visualization. The simplest is to see that I'm just the pure witnessing, and even this screen is being witnessed. This sense of screen is something that I am aware of. The sense of screen is not aware of me, you see.
Mm-hmm.
And although it can seem like I'm a participant in this screen, but actually I am the untouched witnessing of all of this play in the screen. And very
Mm-hmm.
easy is to see that definitely I cannot be that character which is playing there. Okay? Because already you're saying that I see the character. And when you see the character, there's already a watching of it. So the character must be dancing in front, isn't it?
Yes.
Although it arises from you. There's no questioning that it arises from you, but there is a witnessing even of this character playing, of this screen which is present only when beingness is there, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The screen can only be present once the sense I am is there. Can it be there in the deep sleep also?
I have no way of knowing, but no, not the,
So, because the sense of being is not present, then any sense of screen or any sort of visual um, association will not be present in the deep sleep state. Okay? But you are
mm-hmm.
aware of sense of being also arising. When you wake up, you are aware that being is here.
Yes.
You see? So, at best, this screen is the sense of being itself, because the screen sense arises when being arises.
Right.
And
Well,
then this,
it's very much connected with that thing of dreams because
yeah,
I come out of a dream and I can remember the dream and I see myself and all the characters in the dream. And so I'm
yeah,
sort of associating that with the screen and the movie kind of feeling and having these experiences of myself and everything and everyone is showing up in consciousness as one expression of all of our different, all its expression of consciousness in all of us, you know.
this movie example is very good, you see. So you are watching the movie, and when the projector light is not on, so beingness is not there, the light of the projector is not there, then nothing. You see. Not even, you cannot even say that there is a screen when there is no light. When the light comes on, then everything comes on. The screen, the characters, the movie, all, even the sense that I am participating, all that is present in the light of this beingness. But in all of this coming on and off of beingness, does the audience get affected? Truly, does it really get touched? or it is just witnessing all of this play.
Yeah, it's just witnessing. And that's kind of the thing is right now I'm very annoyed at how cold it is, right? I don't like the cold, but I'm aware that this is just one thing happening with this character while everything else and all the rest of us are going on. So remember my earlier question about directly experiencing the sensations and being dissociated at the same time. There's really nothing I need to know, but I guess that's a good example because here I am, I'm cold, I'm annoyed, I'm watching the annoyance, I'm feeling the sensations of cold, and yet I'm seeing the character and everything happening all simultaneously like a dream or a movie. So it does seem like both can happen right at the same time, doesn't it? It seems like it's natural that both would happen at the same time, wouldn't it? That presence feeling of what's really here now in physical, watching the thoughts kind of world, and the not being it at all at the same time. I guess that my question comes from being a little concerned of being too dissociated as I get out into experiencing as consciousness, right? And
so we say that the sun rises from the east and sets in the west. You see, we say that the sun is moving like this across the sky. It moves, but actually we know that it's actually the earth which goes around the sun, isn't it? But in day-to-day life, everyday life, it seems like the sun is rising and setting. Whereas we know the truth. So just if someone comes and tells us some concepts about the sun, it is not going to cause any suffering. Okay? So does this mean that there's some dissociation? No. It just means that I know what the truth is, and yet in the day-to-day life, this is how it seems to play out. So you know that the truth is that you are this eternal awareness of all that is coming and going. Yet in day-to-day life, there is this character. It has these challenges. It has those moments of joy. It has this play that continues. You see? So we don't have to constantly remind ourselves that it's actually the earth which is going around the sun. Just day to day, very simply, the sun is rising and the sun is setting, but it has no potential to cause you any suffering. The concepts about the sun cannot cause you suffering, and even if suffering comes, it lasts only very little time till you remember, oh, it's actually the earth which is going around the sun. See what I'm saying? So I would say that it's dissociation because you're not trying to do both things at the same time. You see, once it's clear to you that I am the awareness itself, then it needs no effort to be the awareness. It could be this sort of dichotomy or dissociation if it was effort to be the awareness and effort to be the person. Here, what we are saying is just let go of all effort. You cannot step out of this witnessing and become the person, and yet the life of the person will continue to play out.
Yeah, it's all one, and something in the concept is trying to make it two, isn't it? Yeah. Even though ultimately, yeah.
It's trying to make you work hard and sort out something.
So surrendering all the practice that naturally wants to happen to try to be more and more free of the person, that's probably what's operating here. So I give that to you. Yeah.
Very happy to take it, my dear. Very happy. And naturally, if it's happening, it's okay. No trouble. No trouble. Just don't believe the interpreter about it. Let whatever is happening happen. Just don't believe the mind's voice because it'll try to scare you. You see, it'll try to use words like dissociation and something to try to put some fear. But just know that you are in satsang and nothing will happen. Nothing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Happy to see you in the hangout.
Happy to be here.
Vikas says, good morning. The experience of some energy, of force taking over me while I'm sleeping is still happening. It scares me up and wakes me out of sleep. Can you please look into it? Yes, yes. Come. When did this start happening?
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is happening for past it started around 4 years back when I kind of got initiated from some master and started practicing meditation. So at that time it was happening almost every day, and I was kind of unable to find out what exactly it is. But then it becomes less frequent, and then it stopped happening. For past couple of years, it never happened, and ever since I've started hearing you out again, it's again happening, and it's happening again frequently. So last night again it was very strong, and it's as if something is trying to get hold of me, and I'm fighting. I'm throwing out my arms and legs, and then in my mind some mantras or some words of Guru Bani starts reciting on its own while I'm sleeping, and it feels like I'm aware of what's been happening, and then uh, all of a sudden this will stop and my eyes will open, but then my mind is still into it, so I'm not able to sleep again for at least an hour or something. And the experience still continues in the mind, but on an awareness level somewhere I could see all of this happening, but then again the body on the body level it does affect, and it's a kind of shivering and something like that.
And when this energy is there, is it trying to? Are there some words also coming up with it, or
There are no words. There are no words. It's just the force that just try to you feel like it's trying to bind you very very hardly, and sometimes even I'm unable to move while I'm sleeping, because if even if I've tried to react to it, I'm unable. Even in sleep, I'm unable, and I could see that I'm trying to move my hand, but it is not moving. So in a way, I may be out of body at that time, and I could realize. And when I wake up, it's all very uh, tender, and everything is kind of. I'm feeling very nervous at that time.
and what was this? You can unmute. It's okay. It's okay. And what was the initiation that happened? Was it some sort of a diksha or something that happened at that time initially?
Yeah, it's kind of the practice of the meditation that was been told by the master, and they have their teachings that you need to follow that on a regular basis, and you need to meditate for 2 hours, and you need to follow a lifestyle, need to abstain from alcohol, and have to have a very high morale. So there were certain principles that I need to follow, which I did for quite a long period of time. But again, there was the same thing. The master was not accessible as such, but I even exposed it to you that every time when I start doing the meditation or start listening to satsang, I tend to become more angry. I tend to become very nasty, and will be very very restless. So this again happened when I started listening to you, but then it settled down. After a couple of days, it settled down, and I'm at peace. But it never happened at that time. I was continuously more and more and more and more restless. This was happening, more oftenly, but I couldn't find the fix of that. If again this thing could have happened here and I was more restless, I would have even stopped listening to satsang. So it was your grace, or the God's will, that the peace did come, and now I wait for the satsang to arrive, and even if I'm sleeping, and in my mind I know that I have to wake up by that time. But it's been happening for say 4 5 years now, at least 4 years.
And when we were getting this initiation, were you alone or there were some others also in the room?
Uh, that was the public initiation that happens. Like there would be around 200-300 people that were around, and uh, many people get enlightened at that point of time. And then, but there was something that changed within me. Like I was completely into it. I won't. My mind won't think about anything else other than either meditating or reading two books or just thinking about spirituality or what's been taught. So I was deeply into that, and for most of my time, like for at least a year, uh, I'll visit the place, and it was very frequent, kind of very devoted to that. But again, the restless within the heart, it was increasing. It was not decreasing. It was kind of I was getting more and more restless, and I was completely out of the stable state, I would say.
It will not last. This energy will get better and better. Sometimes it might still come strongly. The fire is done, it will not last. It will be fine. Sometimes see these energies, I don't want to make any big deal out of them. They're just variations of the same ego, the same guy, but sometimes they seem to play in these various manifestations. So just know that in the lap of the Guru, in the grace of the Guru, all this will be wiped clean.
Uh,
So what you must not do is fear this. So fear is opposite power. You see? Fear is
yeah.
the only thing which nourishes this image. Yeah, and I know it seems like it's easy for me to say, don't fear it. But I can tell you that if you have faith in your heart of the Sadguru, then hold on to this faith and tell the energy, do whatever you want. Okay? Tell the energy, do whatever you want. I am not concerned, even if you kill this body tonight, I am not bothered. Because I know that
It
my Guru.
happens very subtle level that I'm sleeping and something will take over and mind will start reciting uh, something which is holy, and then probably after say 3-4 minutes or maybe even less than that, it will get over. And the observation, like whenever I am sleeping with the thoughts of listening to satsang, like yesterday I was listening to Papaji and going through the videos of enlightenment and something, it happens during those periods very frequently. If I am not talking or thinking about satsang or away from, let's say, spirituality, I'm fine. But when the urge is the most, when the heart is actually being very compassionate, and the feeling is you want to cry or something, it happens more frequently. And even after 15 minutes of when I'm sleeping, like if I sleep at say around 12, within 12:15 it will start happening. I don't know. So like I'm not able to encounter it. It just happens, and automatically there is a fight. It starts happening. So there is no delay. Something will try to get over, and then there will be resistance. We will try to fight with it, and then the eyes will wake up, and I'll be in a situation. And the remembrance of that will be still in my mind.
How is it when something like this? Does it come up like this also?
I couldn't hear you. Can you please repeat it?
When you're in satsang here, when you're in online satsang here like this, does it come up here also?
No. It has always been while I'm sleeping. It has never been when I'm awakened as such. So when I'm sleeping, even sometime in daytimes, it happens. But 90% of the time at night it happens, and yeah.
All my blessings are there with you, and with Mujiji's grace, I'm sure that very quickly all these energies will get cleaned up, and even if some remnants remain and it happens a few times, you will not be so concerned, you will not get disturbed by them. You will just rest as your own true nature, and all allowing will happen. You will not be concerned. It will just seem like it's a bad dream and it came and went. But may my master's grace take care of all of these energies, and you stay in satsang and it'll get better and better. All will be fine.
It feels like everything is fine. Like there's a very great, amount of peace and joy happening in life, and life seems blissful. So yeah, it's happening. Thank you so very much.
Very, very well. Nandi says, oh, I missed some chat. Let me scroll back. Quantumness asked a question. He said, Father, a question if I may. Why does the mind want to dominate and trick us? Is there a particular reason? So, this mind is just the sense of separation. You see, it's like saying that I wanted to. Sometimes I joke, I don't know whether online I've shared this example, but in person I have this example that you put a game in your gaming console or computer, and you say that I am going to play the game of being James Bond. Okay? But the game must be convincing, isn't it? So then, when you enter the game and suppose you put on your virtual reality headset, and there must be a voice which is telling you, you're James Bond or whatever, and then you have to pretend to be this person. And this game is continuing. You have to deal with the challenges that come. You see? And you created this, what is called the artificial intelligence engine or AI engine or something, which is constantly giving you instructions as if you are James Bond. You see, that's his job. It was created by you so that you could get entertained. Yeah? So the job of this mind is to convince you of your separateness. But how long will you play? After a few hours, after a few days, you say, I'm sick of this because it's not getting anywhere. I've reached the highest levels, or I'm not getting anywhere, but I'm just tired of this game. How do I stop? Mhm. Then you say, then you start expecting that this voice will tell you to stop. No, but this voice is programmed only to tell you that you are James Bond. You see? This voice will not tell you that you're playing a game. That's why there's a fail-safe mechanism in the game which you programmed, which you said, because I will get lost, I better have a fail-safe mechanism, and there will be a being who I will call the guru, and he will say that you're just playing a game. Just snap out of it. It's just a game. Don't worry, it's ending. It's all over, and it cannot touch you. You see? But don't expect that the mind will change its colors or this leopard will change its spots. It will only say that you are this person, this character in the dream, this character in the game. That is its purpose. And what is the mind? The mind is also made up only of consciousness, you see. So the mind is not separate from consciousness. There is no mind when there is no being. So mind also comes from being. But don't expect it just because it comes from consciousness. Don't expect it to speak the truth. Because that's not the programming of the mind. The purpose of the mind is to keep you believing that you are a separate person. You cannot have it that you keep listening to the mind, keep believing the mind, and be free at the same time. You're believing the voice which is telling you that you are this dream character, this game character, and also believing the truth. That is not possible. So the instant you believe, you come across this fail safe, you feel a sense of peace, you feel a sense of trust and surrender, then you know that This fail-safe mechanism in the game has been activated, and it is reminding you that it is just a game. Don't take it so seriously and stop listening to this voice. Then you see what the truth is right now. Okay? I hope that made sense. Thank you so much. Jayani says, Namaste, beloved father. Can't focus on satsang due to family interruptions and commitments. Will watch later. No worries, my dear. See you soon. Love you. Anandi says, only room for my master in this house. Very good. She says this when she feels strong energies or strong mind. Then she says, there's only room for my master in this house. Quantumness says, I understand. Thank you, Father. You're very welcome. I don't know if Vikas can read all the messages for him in the chat. I'll read one out to him. Atma says, all my love to you, Vikas. I know these energies were happening here as well 20 years ago. All will pass with blessings of Master. Or 20 years ago, I don't remember anymore. 20 years ago and 20 years. Many actually in satsang have experienced these strong, energetic. I usually don't like to stress so much about them in satsang because the mind gets excited by some of these concepts. Even those who have not experienced energy will say, "What is this? I want to know this." You see, some curiosity gets awakened like this. Shanti is going to sleep. Good night, my dear. So much love. If we can look at life as this game, then nothing will seem that serious. Nick said, "Love to you, Father and Sangha. We'll have to surrender up to the down internet connection here. Meanwhile, presence in the heart is correct." Very good. Yes. There are very beautiful moments when you realize there's nothing you can do. Like we have a water situation in our house. So there's water in the tank, but no water in the house, and we got the lines clean, and we got all sorts of things. We got many plumbers to come. We checked out everything, and yet there's not enough water in the house. So at one point, you just have to say, "Okay, there's nothing more I can do. It's God's problem." You see? And it's very auspicious when the ego runs out of moves. It's very beautiful. Life is pointing us to the truths every moment. Every moment. The truth is what you want. The freedom of your own self is truly what you want, then every moment life is just pointing you to what is real. It's showing you all that is unreal so that it can be transcended and you stay as you are. I like it very much. When there's silence and all of you in the hangout, and you have no option but to keep looking at the screen, you see, and the mind must be saying, what? See? At least the ones who are watching from outside on YouTube will say, oh, well, let me check my email or let me do something. But if you're in the hangout, you're stuck. It's a very good time to notice this mind. It's a very good time to notice in these times of silence. Very good time to see this energetic form of the mind. You see, it's nothing but energy. It's like this. And what used to seem to be very magnetic form of energy, always pulling at our attention, now seems to be just something at the sides. You see. And sometimes I actually forget I'm supposed to say something. Good. Mira is here. She says, so beautiful, Father. Tears of joy. Thank you so much. Always at your holy feet. So much love, my dear. Anandi says, love the silence. Very beautiful to be in silence with you. I feel more and more as we go along and the light of this Sangha keeps shining so brightly, then we won't have to use so many words, you see. In the beginning, it cannot be denied that words are helpful. These pointings, this hammering again and again of the same thing is helpful. But I see the light and the radiance shining in all of you more and more brightly. My feeling is that maybe not so many words will be used. I'm getting the sense that someone is feeling that, what does Ananta think of me, or something like that. Just know that I think nothing of you, nothing. I don't pay any attention to any thoughts about myself. And why would I pay attention to thoughts about you? Just know that I love you completely, completely from my heart. You are my own heart, actually. My only endeavor, if at all there is an endeavor, is to show you the same way that I see you, so that you see yourself in the same way. That is my only wish. It is my only blessing. I see my own self. You are my own self. In fact, it is you who says that I am not like you. It is not me. I always say that we are the same. We are one, in fact. Nothing special is here. Nothing special is here. What's special is in your own heart, in your own heart, in your own presence. Not in this body, you see, not in this body. Mhm. Mhm. The way of the world is it will take something specific and it'll make one body something special in its eyes, and then it'll pull the same one down. It'll say one day you are so special as a person, next day it'll say you are a fraud or a con or something like that. That's the way of the world. That's why what I want to tell you is that you find the Guru, you find me in your own heart. Then we don't have to go through all of this ups and downs of the world. It was around the same time that the great sage, the great Son of God, Jesus, was born, isn't it? And to the world, to the mind, it was such a great threat that that the Son of God, it seems, was crucified on a cross. The world is always like this. But where was Jesus actually? Where is Jesus actually? In your own heart, isn't it? Your own holy presence is the Son of God, is God Himself actually. And this holy presence, it seems, had only very few disciples. You see, at that time, 12, they say 12 disciples. And still, with these simple pointings, there are new followers being created even today. New Christians being born today, new Buddhists being born today. This is beyond religion. The mind will come and say that I am part of a group, this group which follows a religion. It's not about this. In India, we have so many of these controversies going on about conversion and reconversion, one religion to another religion. The silliest thing. Silliest thing. We must go beyond all of this and discover spirituality, the true nature of what we are, the presence of spirit, the presence of presence itself. And then we'll understand what religion was actually trying to say. If we remain stuck in these archaic beliefs and concepts, then this is not freedom. Just by calling yourself Christian, just by calling yourself Hindu, just by calling yourself Muslim, does not mean that you have imbibed what was really said by the holy masters. Thank you all so much. Rashmi has to go. Okay, my dear, love you. I love you too, my dear. So much love to all of you who typed such beautiful messages. And we have a question. Atma is typing for Shivani. She says, can someone please share for me, Father? This thought gets belief. How long this goes on like this? Yeah? How long this goes on like this is completely unknown. It may be like this till the day I die. I have no control over how or when true recognition will occur. It brings up so much helplessness. This feeling that I have not got the true recognition, this feeling also you are aware of. And the one that is feeling helpless, that one you are aware of. And this awareness is not feeling helpless. You see. Is awareness feeling helpless? See that it is not awareness which is feeling anything at all. These feelings are coming and going, and you are witnessing them. Just to see this is the true recognition. That you are this pure witnessing, this pure awareness, which is aware of all that is coming and going. This is the true recognition. Just to answer, I am aware now, is the completely true recognition. So, what is the true recognition that we are looking for? I have told you my definition of the true recognition. Now you can tell me yours. That's why I ask, what will convince you of your freedom? What will convince you of your true recognition? Are you unaware? Are you not being? And if you recognize that you are aware and you are being, this is the true recognition. What must be recognized? What is still to be seen? Are you waiting to become something? Don't become, just be. And even this is not an instruction, you see. Because when you hear just be, you decide I will just be. It's not like that. You are being. Just drop the becoming. The mind will paint many goals for you. Some might say that till my physical expression doesn't become just like Mojiji's or Ananta's, that must mean I'm not free. It's not like that. This is not something I have said. Every physical expression will always be unique, you see. The world does not want two same expressions. No two fingerprints are the same. And of course, you will carry the fragrance of the Guru. You will carry it. You cannot help it. It's nothing that you have to do. Your presence already carries it. You see? My stamp, my certificate is already in your eyes. Already it is there. Mhm. Atma says, yes, Father, expressions are unique. Yes, yes, to all you say. Mostly I say, don't take my word for it. Mostly I say, don't take my word for it. Check for yourself. But sometimes I just feel like saying, just take my word for it. You are the supreme. Just take my word for it. Mhm. You are this pure awareness. You are what you have been searching for. So today I feel to say, just take my word for it. If you're tired of checking, just take my word for it. You are this pure awareness itself. You are the supreme one. Don't do anything. Nothing to see, nowhere to go, no inquiry also. Nothing, nothing. Mhm. Then And the mind will come to try to prove me wrong. Will you believe this mind? The mind will say, but I don't feel like it. We've already said it's not in the feelings, you see. Feelings can be anything. Mind will say, I don't recognize it. He said it is the recognizing itself, the power of cognition itself, the awareness itself is what you are. It is not in a recognition of something appearing. Is to say that I have the power to recognize, I have the power to cognize, I have this awareness. This is enough. The mind will say, but you are not like Ananta. But I am saying we are one. When I see you, I see my own self. Now what is left? And don't resist any feelings. Don't resist any feelings. Helplessness is coming, let it come. Let's see what it will do. Fear is coming, let it come. Let's see what it will do. Welcome all of it. Let's see. Like somebody said on stage in Muji Satsang once that it feels like my head is going to explode. And he said that will be very nice to see. Never seen a head exploding. So let it come, let it come. Let's see what it does. You don't have to get freedom. You don't have to get freedom. You don't have to become free because you were never bound. To want to get freedom, to become free, first you must believe a lie that I was bound. And yet you can never show me the bondage. You cannot show me bondage, and yet you are desiring some freedom. You see the irony in this? Just let go. Let go of all these ideas, let go of all these concepts. No concept, no concept, no freedom, no God, nothing. Let go of all concepts and see what is true now. Forget about consciousness, forget about awareness, forget about Guru, forget about God, forget about freedom, liberation, enlightenment. Forget about it. You just tell me what is here now.
There is only emptiness, and then there is a seeing, actually observing that emptiness. That's all. That's there all the time.
Yeah. And this observing, this awareness has no trouble with anything. It is not resisting, it is not fighting, it is not having preferences, it is not making choices, it does not care about outcomes. All these are just ideas, you see, all these are just ideas. All my blessings to you for the coming year, and may you continue to remain in your own holy presence and completely drowned in this ocean of the love of the Guru. May Sadguru Sri Mujji guide your every step. May you be the light of this world. May all beings experience so much peace when they come to your presence. May you remain forever one with your own true self. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So much love to all of you. Mhm. Who's gonna sing for us today? Amaya is here. Amaya is ready to sing today. You're on mute, my dear.
Now?
Yes, it's good.
Om Satchidananda Parabrahm Purushottam Paramatama Shri Bhagavate Samhitam Shri Bhagavate Namaha Om Satchidananda Parabrahma Purushottama Paramatama Shri Bhagavati Samhita Shri Bhagavate Nama Om Satchidananda Parabrahma Purushottama Paramatama Shri Bhagavate Samhita Shri Bhagavate Nama Hari Om Tat Sat Hari Om Tat Sat Hari Om Tat Sat Hari Om Tat Sat Om Satchidananda Paramabrahma Purushottama Paramatama Shri Bhagavati Samhita Shri Bhagavate Namo Om.
Very beautiful, very good. Thank you so much. And Lizal can end with her invocations.
Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Dhyanamalam Gurur Murti Pujamalam Gurur Padam Mantramalam Gurur Vakyam Mokshamulam Guru Kripa Mokshamulam Murjiji Kripa Mokshamulam Anantaji Kripa Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramya Sarve Putrani Pashantu Makaschit Dukapak Bhavet Asatuma Sat Kamya Tamasuma Jyotir Kamya Mrichorma Amritam Gamya Om Purnamida Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Very good, very Thank you all so very much for being in Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Muji Ji ki Jai.
Jai! Ananta ji ki jai!
Jai!
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Beautiful, wonderful year. The Holy Presence has been such a gift to me. All of you, all of you. So much love to all of you who are watching on YouTube as well. If this is not grace, then what must grace be? Okay, we can end the broadcast now.